Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here in person and on Facebook Live. I'm Edna Sensei. We will now begin our regular Sunday service. Please join us in prayer. Yeah. Mediation prayer. Let us seek the mediation of
sincerely and wholeheartedly each and every day. We may receive the mediation anew with all hearts and souls on this day, this very moment. Yigami Konko Daijin Sama, Yigami Konko Daijin Sama, Yigami Konko Daijin Sama, Yigami Konko Daijin Sama.
Purification prayer.
To the will of mediation, may our sincere apologies be acceptable to you, our divine parent. We acknowledge our mistakes and misunderstandings, arrogance and ignorance of your divine favor. We apologize for all our shortcomings and irreverences from past generations. Guide us to amend our way of living to reflect your divine will. The pure, joyful, and loving heart, always one with you.
Family prayer. Reverently we pray.
The brilliance of heaven, the richness of earth, time flows without cease, years pass without end. In heaven and earth is a life that nurtures all. In heaven and earth is the truth that orders all. For this wondrous form, for these wondrous works, let us praise Tenchi Kanino Kami. Let us praise the divine parent of the universe. Kami loves and cares for all humanity, for those who live between heaven and earth. To revere Kami as the divine parent, to live in Kami's infinite blessings, this is the way. Yet many, not knowing the way, are lost in greed and selfishness. They suffer the cycle of misfortunes. Great is Kami's sorrow. Our founding father, Konko suffered many trials in this world, but held fast to faith and sincerity. He received Kami's great blessing and began a life of mutual fulfillment of Kami and humanity.
Humbly we pray.
And her great wish was thus fulfilled. Konko accepted the call to mediation that leads to the mutual benefit of Kami and humanity. By day he taught the way of faith to all who sought him, expounding the blessings of heaven and earth, and knew not the coming of night. By night he prayed for those who grieve, seeking salvation for all who suffer, and he knew not the dawning of day. Though years passed and the world changed, he did not waver from his task, the divine task of mediation. Thus was given the sacred Tenchi Kakike, the guiding principle for our daily life. The divine favor was thus renewed, and blessings flowed universally, knocking the way of eternal prosperity, the way of mediation of Kami. By this wondrous revelation, we are given knowledge of the way, through all the hardships of this world, to care of body and soul. The way of mediation teaches us to turn our hearts to Kami, without regard for day or night, whether we are near or far. The way of mediation teaches us to pray with total trust. For living unaware of divine favor, we uphold sincere apologies and pledge to mend our ways. Let us live our faith every day, seeking and rejoicing in your divine favor. Let us care for those in pain and invite them to the way. Let us guide those who are lost and awaken them to a life of purpose. Kami is fulfilled in us, we are fulfilled in Kami. May this way of mutual fulfillment be manifested in this world. May Kami's wish for true peace and well-being among all people be fulfilled. So we humbly pray, so we earnestly pray.
Recitation of Kenji Kasitsuke.
Hiran Konko Daijin Tenchi Kane no Kami Yeshe ni Negai. Wahiawa Kokoro ni Ari Kongetsu Konnichi de Kanoe. Pray sincerely with all your heart, be one with Kami. Kami's blessings begin within, hearts grateful and caring in harmony and joy. Look to Kami always and forever on this very day pray. Kami Kokoro Daijin Tenchi Kano Kami Yeshe ni Negai. Wahiawa Kokoro ni Ari Kongetsu Konnichi de Kanoe.
Pray sincerely
With all your heart, be one with Kami. Kami's blessings begin within, hearts grateful and caring in harmony and joy. Look to Kami always, now and forever, on this very day pray.
Dear Kyami Konko Daijin-sama and the great life force, Tenchi Kami no Kami-sama, we are gathered here at the Konko Mission in Wahiawa for this regular Sunday service, in honor and appreciation of your divine workings of the universe. The regular blessings we receive on a daily basis are the greatest blessings we can ask for. Your divine energy exists in all aspects of our lives. You live in us humans, in plants, in animals, in fishes, in birds, and everything. Your divine energy existed since the beginning of time. It can never be created nor destroyed. We are surrounded by your workings that continue to provide for us. So we would like to take this very brief moment of our day to say thank you. This year will mark the 81st year since the founding of the church by the late Reverend Haruko Takahashi. Please guide us in her pursuit to continue the legacy of this church. She has sincerely dedicated her life to serving people and Kami-sama. We thank her for her spirit, which continues to watch over us. We give thanks to the strong prayers of the 6 people Reverend Yogi Konko, who serve at the headquarters currently, and pray for the well-being of all people. We also appreciate the Amagi Church and Honolulu Church, which are our grandparent and parent church, and the ministers, followers, and supporters of this church. Please continue to guide us in our daily lives and bless every cell in our body from head to toe. At this time, let us take a moment to reflect upon the many things that are happening throughout the world. The lingering pandemic, the damage done by Hurricane Ida on the East Coast, and the raging fires on the West Coast, the situation going on in Afghanistan, and countless other problems throughout the world, and suffering. Let us extend our deep prayers for the people of the world, for our environment, and all living things. In the midst of all this chaos, your blessings still continue. We want to thank you again for all that you do. Silent prayer. We lift our eyes in awe toward heaven soaring above. We lift our eyes in awe toward heaven soaring above. We bow our heads in prayer toward earth rich and deep. Living amidst such gifts of Kami's great giving, how happy and grateful we are. The mediation of Kyami Konko Daijin does not stop for a single day. The protection of the divine parent embraces all far and wide. The blessings of Kami flow without limit through all generations. The ways of Kami are mysterious and wondrous beyond our understanding. Day by day, every day, earnestly and reverently, we praise the virtues of Kami, honor the power of Kami. Kingaku Sanji, page 29. 徳三時仰ぎ祭れば天高く
仰ぎ祭れば天高く愚がみ祭れば地は厚し神の恵みに生かされる身の幸いぞありがたき我が生き神の御取りすぎ人日もかくる時のなく天地の神の御守りとは吉が木の隔てなし神へ尽くしみはよろずやにあまねく満ちて果てしなく計らいはくすしくて人の思いぞ及ばざる我ら今月今日いやび祭りてひたすらに神の御影をたたえますらん神の比例を仰ぎますらん
Mitama prayer, page 12. Spirits of those who have gone before, you are given the gift of life in this vast and endless universe. We discharge your duties faithfully, each according to your span of years. You will be remembered eternally. Your life will flow from generation to generation, honored as the foundation of our society and the roots of our families. Through the mysterious workings of Kami, you enter the Konko faith. You walk the way of Konko, respecting the will of the divine purity. Your master admits your faith to take it to the world beyond and leave to your descendants. Our gratitude is boundless for your loving favors. We revere you as ancestral spirits of our homes, our own divine spirits. We beseech you, stand by us, each and every one. Receive the favor of Kami and help us to fulfill our tasks as people without failing. Protect us, guide us, enrich us, that we may never lose the way of faith, that we may hand it down to all generations, that we may live in peace and prosperity within our homes. Protect us, guide us, enrich us. Here, Mitama spirits of the late Reverend Haruko Takahashi, deceased family, friends, spirits of the native Hawaiian people, and beloved outfit myself. Good morning to all of you. We're gathered here today for our regular Sunday service, in acknowledgement of Kami-sama's blessings, and in remembrance of you. You know that you always watch over us and support our well-being and decisions, even more now that you are a Mitama spirit. You are the foundation of our existence, which enables us to be able to enjoy blessings today. If it were not for you, we would not be where we are right now. We honor your divine spirit and pray for eternal happiness and peace. Whether through a yellow butterfly, a dream, or a gust of wind, letting us know your presence in these many forms reminds us that your love for us continues. We wish to continue your legacy as an extension of your life and help pass on your core values. We now take this moment of silence to think about you and your generous love and care for us. Thank you. Silence, please. kanji, please. Sosen sanji, yoyo no yawa,
我が家の神我が神と心尽くしていつきますらな心尽くしていつきますらなと君親の神たちよ海の子のために家の柱を沈め立てたまい初子のために世のなりわいを守り助けたまい隠り世の見えぬ境にましませども見尽くしみのみ心は写しよに変わらせたまわず先みたまのまさきくさきはえたまいくしみたまのくしみにめぐみたまいて志はまきの柱の動きなくなりわいは結ぶつなめのゆるびなくま心清らに励み努めしめたまゆからやからやわらぎあいてきにけにうらやすく楽しましめたまいついに写し世のことを得て神の御門に参らん時には必ずしも迎え取りたまい見尽くしみ葬らしめたまわんものと神の実りの絶えなるかしこみかたじけな耳親の恵みのおぼろげならぬおうれしみ喜びもおすことをみ心も涼やかにきこしめしたまえたもすあの不思議のみ親の御霊あの不思議のみ親の御霊あの尊のみ親の神あの尊のみ
read the Konko faith, our creed, page 73, together. We believe in Tenchi Kane no Kami, the divine parent of the universe, our founder, Konko Daijin,
embrace
Kami's
Kami's
revelations, and our divine mediator answer the call to eternal mediation. Our continuing goal from moment to moment is to realize Kami within each of us. We are fulfilled through Kami. Kami is fulfilled through us. The happiness of everyone is Kami's greatest wish. We give thanks for Kami's blessings, mysterious, wondrous, and mundane. Blessings begin with our own hearts filled with harmony and joy. We pray wholeheartedly to Kami today and every day, trusting Kami as our loving parent, finding peace of mind. We give our faith and service to Kami, each other, and our world, nurturing and nurtured, mutually fulfilled. We revere those who have gone before us, spirits one with Kami, caring for us eternally. We respect and appreciate all the paths taken by humanity towards spiritual fulfillment. Good morning, everyone. Good to see all of you. Thank you for coming. Today, I would like to talk about house blessings. Recently, we have a request to do a house blessing, and I would like to touch on that topic. Well, now it's going to be kind of long, but just to give you a general, the mindset we must have as Konko believers before we have hold a house blessing. So we've performed several house blessings in the past, and also a Zoom house blessing for the first time in the history of this church last year for our family that lives on the mainland. We haven't really touched on the topic of house blessings, so today I will talk about that. So we select a good day in time that's convenient for the homeowner and also for the minister, and who will be performing the blessing. But during the founder's time in Japan, they relied on the lunar calendar and the days and directions. And they consulted a specialist to determine which day, which direction you need to face when holding the blessing. And they used to do that, and they still do that actually. There's a calendar for this. Like they do this for constructing a house, holding weddings, and having big celebrations of any kind. They consulted these specialists so they don't run into Konji, the evil deity. So even in this day, there's a calendar that people follow and avoid holding celebrations or funerals, like on Tomobiki days or Butsumetsu days it's called, which are considered unlucky. Tomobiki literally means pulling a friend, and Butsumetsu means Buddha's death. So on these days, usually they don't hold celebratory things. But Konko Daijin were the first to say that following such superstitions was unnecessary, and that all days are good and no days are bad. And we notice that Wahiawa churches, Gotaisai is always on the 13th. Sometimes it lands on Friday the 13th, and we don't care because it's still a blessed day. The Konkokyo style house blessing seeks mediation from Konko Daijin to ask permission from Kami-sama, our great life force, to allow us to live at the place that we've decided. Well, what do you mean, allow us to live there? People will say, I bought that place. It belongs to me. That's what people usually think. But typically, the house doesn't belong to you unless you paid it in full. It belongs to the bank you have a mortgage with, right? Now, how much can you guarantee that you'll be alive to work well for the next 25 to 30 years to pay off that mortgage? How much can you guarantee that? It is only possible through the blessings and tremendous daily blessings that come from Kami-sama, right? I can really acknowledge the teaching in the divine message received by founder and his family on October 10th, 1873, and it's also in the prayer book. It's called the Goshinden, and it says, though people live between heaven and earth, they are unaware of Kami's blessings. Shrines, temples, and homes all stand on Kami's land. Unaware of this, people only examine the days and directions and commit irreverences to Kami, and encounter hardship due to their accumulated offenses. They are to practice faith and receive divine blessings. Tenshi Kare no Kami Hasen Ikian Konko Daijin to the people to give blessings and teachings and have them prosper forever. Kami is Kami because of people, and people are people because of Kami. Both continue to uphold each other. This message was given to the founder of Konko Daijin to save society and people that are troubled through their ignorance and arrogance of the principles of the universe. Through this divine will, people and Kami can actualize a world where they can both uphold each other's well-being through mutual reliance, or Aiyo Kakio. The people claim that since they bought the place with their hard-earned money, it belongs to them, and they have the paperwork to prove it, right? Yeah, this house belongs to you. But to Kami-sama, it's just paper. And Kami-sama will probably laugh at your face if you say that to Kami-sama, that this hand in hand, this house belongs to me. We are actually just borrowing the land from Kami-sama while we live in our physical form. All land ultimately belongs to Kami-sama. Thus, nature has the power to reclaim the land that once belonged to humans. And you can see that very clearly in the Great Tohoku earthquake, tsunami, and nuclear disaster that followed back in 2011. You can see this with the wildfires and hurricanes that are leveling out entire communities in the past and present. Brand new houses gone in a day. As for the nuclear power plant accident in Fukushima back in 2011, perfectly standing houses, and the whole town had to be deserted because the radiation levels are so high, people can't return for another century or more. But you see drone images of the once thriving town reclaimed by nature. Wild boars and deer are now running wild and free. Trees and brush covering acres and acres of the once manicured land. So when you look at that, it's apparent that the land doesn't belong to us. We are just allowed to live through the blessings of Kami-sama. The daily blessings. We must not forget this. Being cured, so there's a teaching that says being cured is not the only thing to be grateful for. Always being in good health is. And Gorikai 3, Konkokyo Gorikai 46. We may give thanks, for example, if the house catches fire, but there was just minimal damage. But do you give thanks for these ordinary days where your house doesn't catch on fire, where your house is perfectly fine, and everybody is well? Do we give thanks for that? This is the ignorance of human beings. They only beg for help and give thanks when something bad happens, or they believe that they receive the blessing. And in fact, these ordinary days are the greatest blessings of all. That's why it is so important to pray on a daily basis, because Kami-sama gives blessings on a daily basis. We do not receive blessings only sometimes. We are receiving them 24/7, 365 days of the year. So as big as these blessings are every day, ask yourself how big your gratitude and sincerity are towards Kami-sama and Konko Daijin. We have to be responsible and spiritually awoken people to realize the daily blessings that come from Kami-sama and practice faith on a daily basis. If you can't do that, you are followers. If you can do that, you are followers of the Konko faith. If you can realize and appreciate your daily blessings, you'll be able to achieve your dream, any dream that you have, and prayer that you have been holding in your heart. If your heart isn't appreciative, your vessel to receive divine blessings will be tiny and almost non-existent. With the daily feelings of gratitude, your vessel will grow bigger and wider. So when blessings come pouring at you, you'll be able to catch every drop of it. In having a Konkokyo style house blessing, the homeowner must also make an effort to practice faith for the continuous prosperity and blessings from everyone in the household. He or she must first decide where the altar is going to be at. We're going to prepare a goshimai, a sacred rice packet, and a tenchi kakisuke in a frame. It's important to display it somewhere respectable in the house where it's not going to get neglected and dusty. Blessings are just reflections of your sincerity. A dirty, dusty altar does not reflect sincerity and gratitude. Is your altar piling dust? Give it a good cleaning. Place your goshimai somewhere where the family can gather for prayer. It is important to pray to the altar on a daily basis. Blessings will follow with the sincerity the person has in their heart. Merely having a house blessing will not bring blessings if the occupants do not have faith, and if they don't even try to have a connection with Konko Daiji and the Great Life Force. It's not just an, okay, house blessing is done, offering to the church done, now our house is good, we're good. Us ministers will do the initial prayer of the house. And from there, it becomes the responsibility of the people living in the house to give daily prayers, to add your energy to the altar. And with that energy, your house will be protected. You will continue to receive blessings day in and day out. People have to take responsibility. Otherwise, it just becomes negai stick or disposable prayers. A lot of people do negai stick. They go about their daily lives, forgetting where they even placed their goshimai, forgetting where they placed their tenchi kakitsuke, and then something crazy or life-threatening happens, and they go scrambling and looking for what's their goshimai, only to find it under like a pile of papers or on the floor or something. And they beg Kami-sama for help. And all this time, Kami-sama wasn't even a thought that comes out in your day, and now begging for prayers. But when you direct your heart, your energy, Kami-sama will respond because Kami-sama is energy. People may think, oh, you guys are hardcore, yeah? So humbug. We gotta pray to the altar every day. Oh, mendokusai. Mendokusai. But you realize that Kami-sama gives us blessings, right? Regardless if we pray or not. Then we might as well give thanks for our daily priceless blessings because it's the right thing to do. I mean, you report to work, right? You wake up early, you get ready, you report to work. Because why? Because you want to get paid. And you get paid, you buy whatever you want to. So, but Kami-sama, give these blessings into you anyways. The least we can do is give thanks. At least 5 minutes a day. If you have time to brush your teeth, you have time to pray. So I challenge you to please incorporate prayer and giving thanks daily in your life. So a lot of people, they just live in ignorance and accumulate offenses and not being appreciative. And they wonder why bad things happen. Another thing with Konkokyo house blessings is that since we don't know, oh, cats are like having that since we don't know like who's lived there in the past or what lies beneath, right? There could be bodies. We must apologize to the spirit and seek permission to be allowed to live there. If you think about the whole Hawaiian Islands, it's one massive graveyard. I may be just right and left, there could be bodies buried. Right beneath me, there could be like an ibi kupuna. We never know. We never know. We acknowledge the unknown. We also ask for the spirits in the house to be the guardian spirits. In doing so, the spirits will not be bothered or insulted, and all occupants can live in harmony with the spirits. Trying to kick out the spirits is the last thing we want to do. We don't do that in Konkokyo. We don't do like oh shoo, get away spirit, evil spirit that's trying to haunt our house. Because they will not leave. Okay, they will not leave the house. And having the heart that wants to try to even get rid of the spirit in the house will anger them. And no amount of sacred sake, holy water, garlic, or sage sticks will get rid of the spirits. The spirits will respond to the heart that we hold within. So we must seek divine protection and guidance from Konko Daiji's divine spirit. So all the spirits that are not at rest can finally be at peace. In any kind of blessing we perform in the Konkokyo tradition, whether they are house blessings, car blessings, weddings, new baby blessings, the minister will do their part in mediating your prayers to Konko-sama. But it's important to do your part to continue to practice faith. We mustn't get lax. People may think, oh, I have a goshima in my car and I got this car blessed, but I still got into an accident and complain that Kami-sama didn't protect them. But have they been praying every time they start the engine? Have they been giving thanks when they arrive safely at their destination? Have they been practicing safe driving habits with care and consideration for other motorists? Have they been truly practicing faith as they drive their car? These are the things we have to keep in mind. Again, the responsibility is within each of us, right? It's placed on you. Sensei will continue to pray, but if you're not doing your part to apply the Konko teachings in your daily life, there isn't much that Kami-sama can do for you, right? And even if Kami-sama may give you signs, we wouldn't even notice them as wake-up calls for us to change our hearts. So today, I just shared with you the mindset we must have before deciding to have a Konkokyo blessing of any kind. I hope it was a little bit helpful and you learned something. So please, I hope that information helps you. Thank you very much for your time.
Good morning for joining today's service. I'm glad you came all the way from your house to attend the service. In the Edna Sensei's speech about days and directions, even today we have this custom. Konko is very exceptional. If those days we ignore the rules of days and directions, it is quite unusual against social norms, like rejecting COVID shot. Yeah. But at the early stage of the founder, and he consulted the directions, and followed exactly, and encountered many hardships, and he found out it is impossible to follow the directions as they are written. Anyway, I want to share my thoughts. I'd like to introduce a message from the founder Konko Daijin. Konko Daijin said, people have wondered why a man who is honest doesn't do anything bad to others. It's like a kami or Buddha is often afflicted with many misfortunes. This is because he has somehow irreverence to kami. No matter how honest and good he is apt to commit irreverence to kami if he does not practice faith. There's a difference having a good personality and showing irreverence to kami, no matter how good he is. If he doesn't practice faith, he will not receive divine blessings. Number 3, thank you, Kyo. Number 105. It is rare. He is like a counsel of Buddha. But even those people can be affected many misfortunes. Why? They unknowingly commit irreverence to Kami-sama. Even the breathing, the way I can speak, I can hear, I can see, these are possible because of Kami-sama's blessings. Even the house we live in, better because Kami-sama no Kami. So everything is possible because Kami-sama no Kami. If you do not practice faith, you do not aware those Kami-sama's blessings. This is the way we commit reverence to Kami-sama. Be aware of Kami-sama's blessing and practice faith, and you can get blessed. Thank you very much. ありがとうございました。
イエイゴンコ大天地大の神神にWahiawaコロニアリ今月今日でためイエイゴンコ大天地大の神神にWahiawaコロニアリ今月今日でため
Number 3, page 111, number 113, page number 111, page number 113.
はい。クイック
Okay. 113. The following conversation took place between a believer and myself, Konko-sama, referring to Kasaoka Jirashiro. While I was trying to come here, I suddenly had a pain and felt dizzy, so I lay down on the side of the footpath between the rice fields. I was worried about what was going to happen. I then prayed single-heartedly, received the divine blessing, and got better. I considered continuing on to this Hiromai since I was on my way already, but I decided to go home, worrying that the same thing might happen again. Why did I have pain and get dizzy while I was on my way to the Hiromai to receive divine blessings? Did I do something irreverent? I responded, well, you might have done something irreverent since you are just a human being, but that was not the cause of your sickness that day. If your irreverence had been the cause, you would not have been cured without coming to the Hiromai.
3. I once had a severe stomachache while on the way for my monthly visit to the Hiromai of Otani Village. I finally arrived there towards evening 4. Konko Daijin said at that time, people stray even if they have practiced faith for 3 or 5 years. If they continue to practice their faith for 10 years, they can be called religious people.
5. You might wonder why you had a stomachache on your way to the Hiromai in spite of your practicing faith and following Kami's words. But if you had had that much pain while at home, your whole family would have worried about you. Only you were troubled with the pain you experienced while traveling. This is a blessing that you have received by practicing faith in Kami. I will have you receive divine blessings so that tomorrow you may walk home as usual. Just as he told me, I was able to return home in good health. 6. If you have practiced your faith for a long time, you will not be surprised or be concerned about why difficulties happen in spite of your faith. Think of it as a blessing and be single-hearted and full of appreciation. Then Kami will make everything become divine blessings.
114. When I had a serious illness in 1881, other people thought there were absolutely no hope. I offered incense to the altar and lay down, placing my head towards the altar. While I prayed single-heartedly with Konko Daijin's words, "Depends on Kami." In my heart, the incense smoke entered my bed from the bottom of the bed quilt. I continued to pray single-heartedly, thinking a mysterious thing was happening. That day was the peak of my illness, and I was cured by receiving divine blessings.
はい次
And I intended that you might to give thanks. Konko Daijin said, "Jiro Shiro, you were about to die at that time. However, since you depended solely on Kami with a single heart, Kami saved you." Read Koko Daishi, the founder of the Shingon sect of Japanese Buddhism, said that death has no aversion to time. But Konko Daijin will make death turn away at a certain time if one practices faith by depending on Kami single-heartedly. I won't let someone who is under 60 die young. I would not have received divine blessings to this extent if I had died at that time. Those who practice faith should be single-hearted no matter what. It is said that a strong will moves mountains. Single-heartedness in the faith of Konko Daijin moves Kami.
115. People have believed in unlucky days for a long time. They fear the 210th and 220th day from the first day of spring because it is the time when there are strong winds. They also say that at certain ages of a person are unlucky. During any of them, you should practice faith more carefully than usual. Even though there are strong winds on an unlucky day, it will be like any other day as long as there is no damage from the wind. Konko Daijin can avert any wind no matter where it blows or what kind of wind it may be. Even if the wind drives against people, Kami will make it a wind of blessings. If you keep practicing faith, you do not have to fear unlucky years or disasters. An unlucky year will turn into a lucky one.
116. Konko Daijin taught me, people avoid marrying someone who is 4 pronounced she or 10 pronounced June, years different in age because they believe it is unlucky. However, you need not follow these practices if you practice faith in Kami. 2. People visit shrines and draws sacred lots wishing for good luck. The lucky fortune Shiju Jiaose, constant happiness, is an example when both words start with the sound she. The character she, which means 4 in Japanese, is not ominous. From now on, put 4 sacred papers hanging on the sacred robe that hangs in front of the altar. This is why there are 4 sacred papers hanging from Konko Daijin's sacred robe, and everyone is still able to receive divine blessings.
3
If you depend on Kami by practicing your faith, you need not worry about superstitions. People don't like 4-year differences because the Chinese character for 4 can be read as she, which means death. Just because they think only is bad. Think of it as the she as the shirowase, which means happiness, or as the yo, which means 4, or yokare, which means good. People associate 10 wicked acts with the number 10, pronounced Ju. But why is the number 10 bad? Everything prospers upon reaching 10. If people practice faith, thinking positively about all things, Kami will turn everything into divine blessings.
17. People say that they are punished or scolded by Kami, but Kami does not punish. Aren't people being children of Kami? The punishment or scolding that people talk about is Kami's way of showing care and trying to teach the beloved children. You would not receive divine blessings unless you understand this. はい、終わりました。
親神のよざしのままだまだちょっと待ってください。おはようございます。Good morning. Thank you for coming. ただいま歌を歌わせていただきます。We're going to sing for a song. 親神のよざしのままに because coming 五大祭 is for the founder. さあ、よろしくお願いいたします。ナンバー3ぐらいですか？じゃあ、親神のよざしのままに。Page 59. This is Number 3からですか？
「 with a heart caught up in doubt and worry. I face my life every morning, wanting to shine, but somehow holding back joy and fear. So within my heart, still I know, even one as small as I can run into someday and find a shining, shimmering, brilliant light flowing from a path that never ends. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads held high. For we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We're never alone in our lives. We're down and ready to surrender. When times are hard and it seems so dark, just knowing each day that I'm never on my own gives me strength and courage to try harder. Holding hands with my friends standing by my side, swinging arms together we will walk to the shining, shimmering, brilliant light flowing from a path that never ends. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads held high. For we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We're never alone in our lives. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads held high. For we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We're never alone in our lives. Thank you very much.
Thank you. ありがとうございました。
いやよ本校大天地金の神神にあい我が家は心にあり今月この日へたまのめいやよ本校大天地金の神神にあい我が家は心にあり今月この日へたまのめ
thank you so much everyone for joining us today for our Sunday service. I just have a little announcement here. Starting the September 13th. So 1 month, exactly 1 month leading up to our Gotaisai, our grand service. My friend Todd Sensei, he sent me this. He sent me 10 of them, but I can also make more copies. It's a 1 month training, a faith training check sheet. Yeah, so this is really interesting. So you can tally how much you've been incorporating faith into your daily life. So the first one is already filled out for you. This is Seeking Toritsugi with Sensei, mediation. Okay, Toritsugi mediation with Sensei. So otodoke means you can call Sensei, you can text me or Sensei, you can also email us, or you can come here to the church in person, and that's also a way of seeking Toritsugi mediation. So if you're able to do that, the first day you can just put a circle on that, and all the days you're able to do that, put a circle. And it's not a contest, so don't be like, I don't have that many circles. It's okay. It's your way of practicing faith. So all right, for the other lines, you can put like, how many times was I able to say Konko-sama? Was I able to say Konko-sama even once today or something? And another one could be like, I was able to say my prayers in the prayer book. Anything. Or do goyo for the church, or whatever you want to put in here. And it's your personal way of reaching out to Kami-sama and having your one-on-one relationship with Kami-sama. And we're going to continue that for a full month. And for a full month until Gotaisai, and bring this back on Gotaisai Day, which is October 13th. And then we will offer this to Kami-sama in our altar, and we'll continue to pray for you. If you can continue what you were doing for a full month, it becomes a habit. And if you can make your faith practice into a daily habit, you will continue to receive okabe. So if you would like a form sent to you, please message me and give me your address, and I'll mail one to you or email. So yes, and also one more announcement. It's my 31. Okay. So this is not mandatory or nothing, but if you would like to offer an offering of appreciation to our headquarters in Gohonbu, Okayama, Japan, you're more than welcome to do so. What we do is we consolidate everyone's offerings and we send it as a wire transfer to Gohonbu, and up until October 31st, Halloween Day. So if you have any donations, please write your checks out to the Konko missions in Hawaii. Yeah. And then Konko mission in Hawaii will just send one big lump sum to Gohonbu. And last year we did this too, and Gohonbu has been sending each person who's been offering a goshimai. So if you would like to, please do so. Thank you very much. Hope you have a good week. Bye-bye.